Welcome back. This video would have gone up sooner, but we get overtime and a shootout. So by the time this was all over, Anaheim and Minnesota, the most scintillating first period I've ever watched in my life. I had to wait until that was done in order to talk to you about the exciting games of the night. And tomorrow is a very busy day, so I'll be doing the preview tonight, which then gets scheduled to post first thing in the morning, so you don't have to worry about that preview going up really late at night. So let's go ahead and start things off with Chicago and New Jersey. Now, it was almost the jinx. I did put on the New Jersey Devils jersey while they had a lead before Chicago tied it. So I'm just going to apologize to Devils fans straight up. I don't normally do that, but I thought, well, they're not going to blow the lead. Okay, so it's Lankinen versus Bernier, and at 17 seconds on the first shot of the game, the Devils score. It's Dougie Hamilton from Graves and Bratt, although I believe that got changed to Zacha. So, yeah, big start to the game right there for Hamilton, justifying the $9 million, at least for tonight. And I thought he had a good game. I did. I thought that Hamilton had a good game. Devils then go for another. Keep in mind, this is the first game for New Jersey, and there were 7 Devils, including the rookies, who were playing their first game as members of the New Jersey Devils. Yaros with shot blocks early. Lankinen denies Mercer his first goal of his career, really. Hawks had no shot 6 minutes into this. That would change, but it wasn't exactly a first period that had a ton of shots either way. Hagel had a shot that was saved. The Hawks get a power play. The play evens up after the Devils' hot start. The Hawks press with 7 minutes left. Fast period. Good defense by both teams. McCabe had a point shot that deflects wide. Taves had a good offensive shift. And I thought Jonathan Taves had a good game. Tatar nearly buries one. Mercer with a shot there too. 5.4 seconds left. It's a high stick that sends the Hawks to the power play. So, of course, that rolls over into the second period. Second period, 51 seconds in. On that power play, Chicago makes him pay and ties the game. It's DeBrincat with the power play marker from Kane and Johnson. Good power play. That's Tyler Johnson with his first point as a Chicago Blackhawk. And the Hawks with the momentum. So this game sort of kind of turned at that point. Murphy had a shot that was saved as the Hawks pressed. Devils had a 3-on-2. That was broken up by Kubalik. Devils then press. They draw themselves a power play out of that, which led to a shorthanded chance for DeBrincat. But, Chicago does manage to kill it off, and New Jersey doesn't allow a shorthanded goal. Hischier then had a chance that was broken up. Zacha had a shot through a screen that was saved by Lankinen, who did bounce back nicely from allowing a goal in that first shot. DeBrincat to Kane. Bernier saves. Bernier, pretty sharp. The Hawks were playing better. The Devils then get a power play. There was a shorthanded chance for Seth Jones. He kind of whiffs on it, but they did kill off that power play. Bernier then denies Stillman. Graves had a chance. Lankinen makes the save there. Jake McCabe, keeping his goaltender honest by putting a shot on his own net. It was a pretty decent one, too. So, stay alive there, Lankinen. So, it's still 1-1. Graves then had the chance. Then Hughes. Hughes puts New Jersey back in the lead from Kuokkanen. Now, initially, they just gave it to Hughes. It was a nice steal behind the net that leads to the goal at 17:58. So, it's 2-1 for New Jersey. In the last minute, Lankinen denies McLeod. So, New Jersey wanted to get another one there. They don't. But it's 2-1 New Jersey going into the third. And it looked good. Third period, things get kind of scrummy, and that gives the Hawks a power play, to which the fans disagree. The fans were not happy with the refereeing tonight, clearly. It was a good Devils penalty kill. They did kill it off. And then we get a Mercer drop pass, which goes right to DeBrincat. So you don't pass it to DeBrincat by accident or on purpose if you're on the other team. Johnson with a wraparound, that wouldn't go. Seth Jones with the net drive. Bernier makes the save. Entwistle hits a post. And then New Jersey takes the 3-1 lead. And it was a nice play by Johnson. Mercer hits the post, and Johnson follows that puck to the net and puts it in. Tatar with the other assist at 6:34. So Tomas Tatar, another brand new New Jersey Devil, gets on the board with an assist on that one. And so New Jersey's up 3-1. And that's when I put on the Devils jersey. All right, so I'll be wearing Devils for this part of the review. Lankinen stops a McLeod shot. Things get kind of unpleasant at the Devils' net, but the Devils were doing a good job of killing it off at this point. McLeod had a shot saved. Good shift for him there. Mercer then takes a 4-minute penalty, and they really needed the kill there. The goalie gets pulled for a 6-on-4, and with some of the manpower you can put out there for the Hawks, it is unfair to New Jersey, and they score. It's Kirby Dach scoring from Johnson and Kane at 16:07. They then pull the goalie again with 2 minutes left, and 6-on-5, they score again. It's Kubalik from Hagel and Seth Jones at 19:34. So Jones with the assist there, Hagel with another point. And yeah, things are great if you're Chicago at that point because they've tied the game at 3. We are now going to overtime. Hawks controlled things early off the faceoff, but New Jersey would get it. And Hughes on an absolutely fantastic play. He deked around Lankinen, just absolutely embarrassed him there. Graves gets the assist at 57 seconds. So Jack Hughes, really strong start to the season for him with 2 goals, including the winner in overtime. The finals 4-3. Both teams did wear Jimmy Hayes jerseys for the warm-up, which was a nice touch. And yeah, so that was nice to see. The shots in this one were 6 apiece in the first period, 13-11 New Jersey in the second, 10 apiece in the third. New Jersey gets the 1 shot in the overtime. It's the shot that matters. Final shots 30-27 for the Devils. Power plays 2 for 5 for Chicago, 0 for 2 for New Jersey. Hits 17-15 in favor of New Jersey. Lankinen saves 26 out of 30. Bernier saved 24 out of 27, and I thought Bernier gave them good goaltending. I did. I thought that was pretty good. All right. Last game in the early part of the review. The later review will be for Minnesota and Anaheim, which is on a board you can't see. Philadelphia and Vancouver, and this game was bonkers. This was absolutely great. And, you know, if you're a Carter Hart fan, I don't know how you'd feel coming out of this game. He had a rough period, but yeah, I mean, it's really, again, it depends on where he goes from here, really. I have to say for the intros that they had, because of course this is Philly's first game, they had Du Hast by Rammstein when they were announcing the staff and the coaches and all that. And then for the intros of the players, they played Wherever I May Roam by Metallica. And there was fire. So I did post on Twitter, and I'm saying here, I felt like maybe I had programmed that and just forgot because I'm old. But yeah, Du Hast and Wherever I May Roam, 2 of my all-time favorite songs. Philly's trying to win me over, and I don't appreciate it. So it was Shorthouse and Hirsch on, of course, I'm watching Sportsnet Pacific. Garrett's in COVID protocols right now. So Hirsch and Shorthouse in the booth. I thought Corey Hirsch did pretty well too. I thought that he was a little more he was a little rougher in his discussions of all things Canucks, and I thought in some ways pretty honest. I think Garrett sometimes errs on the nice guy side because he's a really nice guy. But yeah, Hirsch wasn't scared to say when he thought there was a play he didn't like or a player wasn't playing particularly well. Early Canucks turnover, Demko makes the save. It was Demko versus Hart. Flyers press, Provorov fires one high. Farabee with a fast break, that stopped. More Flyers pressure. They get a power play. The shots were up to 4-0 as they started that power play. Good power play. The Canucks survived it, but not long after that power play's over, Philly scores. It's Farabee getting off to that hot start from Ellis and Provorov at 6:15. Ellis had a good game as well. And it went in off Pullman's ankle. I got shin pad up there, but it went off the back of his ankle. And the shots were up to 8-0. So it looked like this could be a really long night for Vancouver and Philly, which has happened in the past. I've seen it. Flyers press again at 8 minutes. Yandel fires one wide. A Canucks turnover leads to a chance, and I really thought at this point in the game that the turnovers that Vancouver was giving were really causing them problems. And now I talked about New Jersey having new players. Vancouver does have guys who are learning to play together as well, but they've really got to watch those turnovers. Fans were upset at a non-call late, which leads to the ref you suck chants, which haven't seen that in a bit, so it's always nice to play the classics, play the hits. Hart stops a Pearson shot. The Flyers were throwing a lot of hits throughout this game, and they were late in the first period. Last minute, the Flyers get chance. OEL takes the net off. I thought they might call a penalty there. They didn't. It's one of those things where if a defenseman knocks the net off, and seriously, the Flyers were buzzing all around the net. I understand why you'd want to take the net off and get that whistle, but Again, they didn't call anything there. And there was unhappiness at the horn between these teams. So it's 1-0 Philly after the first period. Really strong first period. We go to the second. The nightmare period for Carter Hart. Early Pettersson rush is saved. There was some line juggling going on by Vancouver. And then it's Vasily Podkolzin with his first NHL goal from Myers and Ekman Larson at 2:36. So OEL's been putting up points. The Canucks then get a power play shortly after that. Pettersson misses. However, while he missed the net, it comes off the boards and it banked in off of Carter Hart's foot. It was not the greatest moment for Carter Hart right there. So Pettersson gets the goal. One of those things where I guess that counts as a goal. I'll tell people it's on purpose. Miller and Chason with the assists at 4:07. So there's Chason on the power play doing what he was brought in to do, right? This guy was brought in to be the power play specialist, and tonight it worked out pretty well. But yeah. And then the next time that Carter Hart made a save, it sounded like there was kind of a Bronx cheer from the crowd there. A little bit. So you guys can let me know if that's what was going on, but it sort of sounded like those yay when he makes an easy save. Anyways, so the Flyers get a power play. It was a pretty good one. Demko was making saves there. The Canucks do kill it off. But it felt like they needed to take every shot now from every angle, and they kind of did. Shot off Farabee onto his own net. Hart stops that. So, again, we're keeping our goaltender honest, much like Chicago did there. Delay of game call. The Canucks go back to the power play. Nate Thompson had a break on a turnover, shorthanded. Demko makes the save. There's a too many men call on Philadelphia. That leads to a 5-on-3 for 35 seconds. And during that 5-on-3, there was almost another delay of game call against Philly, but I guess it deflected off the glass before it went out. But during the 5-on-3, it is Chason getting a goal to go with the assist he had earlier from Miller and Hughes at 9:36. So it's still, the Canucks scored on that 5-on-3, so they still have a power play. Garland misses one high, the next one deflects wide, and the rest of that power play is killed off. But this is looking kind of ugly. However, Atkinson breaks that momentum up. He scores from Farabee and Yandel at 12:17. And yeah, so that makes it one goal closer. Right now it's 3-2. Flyers had a 2-on-1. Lindblom can't bury it. The Flyers press. However, before the period's out, Vancouver adds another. It's JT Miller from Pettersson and Garland at 17:07. And again, probably not the best goal. That was one of those ones where Pettersson throws it at the net, and the puck was right next to the foot of Carter Hart. He turns the wrong way. So the puck's right there on the goal line, so Miller just puts it in. Pretty easy goal. And again, it's one of those things where Carter Hart has to come up with the save there, has to come up with the cover. And so it was a rough period for him. 4 goals allowed on, I believe it was, how many shots in that period for Vancouver? 13. So 4 goals on 13 shots. Last minute, the Canucks get a power play, and the Boo Birds were out, and they were loud. This game looked like it was lost going into the third period. And the question was, would Alain Vigneault switch goalies? Traditionally, sometimes, but I remember with Luongo, there were numerous times where he just leave him in there. And it might be 7 goals, it might be 8. Like, I don't think if Vigneault was coaching Montreal when the infamous game against Detroit happened with Patrick Roy, I don't think it would have been any different. But it works out pretty well for Philly here. So third period, Hughes prevents a shorthanded break for Lindblom. They did kill off that power play. Shots are 4-1 for the Canucks at 5 minutes. Carter Hart still in the net. So he's making some saves. He's getting his save percentage up. Lamico with a deflection that nearly fools Carter Hart. This is where the Canucks are taking shots from anywhere and everywhere. Flyers are starting to gain momentum, and they're throwing more hits. They're getting more physical. The Canucks, again, shooting from everywhere. Miller to Höglander was broken up by James Van Riemsdyk. Goalie pull with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. And then with 2:24 left, OEL takes a penalty for slashing, and it's a 6-on-4. So initially they thought it might be a high stick. It was a puck, catches him in the face, but it's a slash. It's a legit slashing penalty. So 6-on-4, same as this game here. 2-goal lead, same as this game here. And Philly scores. Konechny on the power play from Couturier and Yandel at 17:43. So, weird, right? Then there's a goalie pull with 1 minute and 45 seconds left, and Horvat missed the empty net. And I put that on there because I thought, that's a miss we may want to talk about, and here we are. Giroux would score from Couturier and Ellis at 18:48. Ties it up. So, Right? Overtime. And the overtime was controlled mostly by the Vancouver Canucks. Pettersson in alone. Hart makes the save. Höglander was denied as well. Atkinson gets a pretty good chance. He wasn't able to bury it. But yeah, Pettersson and Hughes ragged the puck a lot. They got line changes going as well when the Flyers were hemmed in their own zone. Could not get a really, really good chance to put it away. But again, Carter Hart making saves and getting his save percentage up. So we go to a shootout. In the shootout, Demko saves both shots he faces. Carter Hart, 2 goals on 2 shots. First Pettersson and then Miller for the Vancouver Canucks. So they win this in a shootout. There's been 2 shootouts in the NHL so far this year, both of them involving the Vancouver Canucks. They lost to the Oilers. Now they beat the Flyers. And what was a thrilling game. Vancouver goes to 1-0-1, and the Flyers drop to 0-1. The Flyers aren't playing tomorrow. Vancouver plays in Detroit. So the shots in this one were 14-5 Philadelphia in the first, 13-10 Vancouver in the second, 15-9 Vancouver in the third, and then 6-2 in overtime in favor of Vancouver. Final shots 39-35 for the Canucks. Power plays, Vancouver 2 for 4, Philly 1 for 3. Hits 38-23 for Philadelphia. Demko saves 31 out of 35. Carter Hart saves 35 out of 39. So his save percentage, while it's not 900, it's close. And they didn't end up going to Martin Jones in that third period. So there you go. You guys are all caught up on what happened with the first 2 games tonight. The review for the other game will be going up later on. But now I'm done with this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.